Hello you lot, Miller Corner here, and you join me outside on a rainy, windy, not very pleasant Saturday morning, rather than being in bed like a sensible person, because this little nugget has a date with Birmingham. That was a weird sentence. In just a few weeks, the Super Seicento is going to the NEC Classic Motor Show to be on the Fiat Motor Club GB stand, and it's not quite show ready. There's a few little things to sort out on this car, and I want to get it looking its absolute best on a budget in between doing other things. So without further ado, let's take a look around at what we're going to be doing. So first of all, the car has already had one change since you saw it last. You'll notice very closely, it's had the windows tinted. The rear quarter windows and the back window, which is absolutely disgusting, has been tinted. Not by me, I'm afraid. Frankly, I didn't trust myself to cock it up, particularly when I don't really have time to mess it up and budget and so on. I took it to Ashford Window Tints, who did me a blinding deal, and they look awesome. Really high quality job, really good standard of tint. There's no bubbles, no marks. It's been really well done. And as you can see on the camera, you can barely see in the back. You have to get right up on it. It's really good for privacy, and in the summer it will keep it cool at the back when we have mad snacks on road trips. So that was a really good job, well done, money well spent. If you're in the Kent area, Ashford Window Tints come highly recommended. The first thing I want to sort out today though is something else cosmetic. The door handles. You might remember a few years ago we painted these black for a bit of contrast, and unfortunately years of being used and abused by the weather has not done them much good. They're all scuffed and the paint's gone flat and disgusting. These need painting and titivating. And in a similar vein, round the front, the black paint on the bonnet bash surround is knackered. Because it's chrome under there, you can see it's really hard to paint chrome effect plastic because you have to sand it down so rough to take the chrome finish off of it, but not so that you show marks through it. Also, the driver's side fog light is living up to its name. It's fogging up. Look, it's actually full of moisture, and on a warm day you can actually see condensation running down in here. So this needs to come out. I need to empty it, reseal it, and hopefully get that looking its best. It started raining just after I filmed that bit. Yay! Anyway, I'll show you very quickly how to do this, although we have done taking armrest and door guards off before, so very quickly. 3 Allen-headed bolts, one there, one in the door handle behind a rubber grommet there. That pops off. Then there's plastic trim clips holding the door cards off. Yours probably won't look like this unless you copied my video on it. Pop that off, and then you can get behind the door membrane skin stuff to get the door handle itself out. And for that, you're in for a bit of a pain. There's one bolt that goes in there like that. You can see I've already taken it out, the one on the right there. And then there is that one there. But I don't know if you can see that rubber sort of track thing there. That restricts any access for tools whatsoever. So I'm thinking what I might be able to do is get the Allen bit on that bolt, then hang off it with a spanner and wind that back. But if not, be prepared for a lot of swearing. So after using an Allen key to undo the other bolt that goes into this thing, I successfully got a handle on the situation in one respect, but not the other, because I forgot the door didn't have a handle in it and shut it. I'm a bit of a spanner, aren't I? That door does still have its handle on the outside, so I can do that. Short term is going through that door. Longer term plan will be if I need to get into the car to refit these, obviously, pop the boot going through there. But for now, yeah, I'll find out how to handle myself one day. Quick tip, if you're going to be storing the car outside while the handles are off and you don't know if the weather's going to be bad, hint, it probably is, put some masking tape over the holes where the door handle goes on the outside and on the inside, just to be double safe, because you don't want a car or indeed a door full of water. I still haven't managed to get in. I'm sort of trapped in the car now because I've taken the door handle off on this side, taped it up there, look, so we're not leaking. It is now peeing it down with rain. I've got the door card and the armrest off of the driver's door, but I can't get the door handle itself off. First of all, if you do so, you're going to need to open the door to do that. And second of all, I'm then exposing the inside of the door to this lovely rain that's happening. So unfortunately, it's going to be kicked back and wait for this to pass before we can do anything else. You gotta love Britain. And that's how your handle works. Just pushes that little metal arm down. Simple. Right, it's sometime later and the rain has hopefully laid off, and there's been a bit of a delay because my girlfriend and I have been making a delicious lasagna which is cooking right now, and frankly I'm very hungry for it. I've got the utterly knackered door handles off. I don't know how well you can see there how crudded up the paint is. This is 3 or 4 years since I painted these. They've had lots of hands on them, they've been out in the weather. We are going to make good on them, so I'm going to sand them down in 3 stages. I've got 80 grit, 120 grit and 240 grit, and have got some 800 just to finally smooth off and make them good. I've just put that in some water. So next up, sand these down, bit of a time lapse. There we go, completely sanded down, silky smooth. So I'm going to give that a quick clean up, one more final wipe down, and then we can get on to the painting of the door handles at least. Oh, This is the day after the footage you just saw, and you cannot tell me that autumn in Britain isn't changeable. I mean, this is absolutely gorgeous, isn't it? And speaking of gorgeous, these parts are about to be. Look, I've sanded down both handles and the badge there. I've also masked off the Fiat part. That's as smooth as I can make it. I've gone down to 80 grit, all the way up to 800 to try and smooth it off and not have chrome coming through again. And with this all done, now we can finally get them painted. So you know what it's time for. Joe paints random stuff. Do-do-do. So we're going to go full time lapse with this, and if you look very carefully on the time lapse, you'll be able to see my very fashionable shoes. Let's get on. That's as thick as I dare, calling that done. It's the morning after the night before, and these bits are done, and I'm so chuffed with these. Look, the badge, demasked it, that looks awesome. Really thick paint and lacquer on there, so hopefully that'll last better than it has in the past. Door handles, immaculate, look superb. Considering that was an outside driveway paint job in the middle of October, I'm absolutely chuffed. So now let's get them on the car. First up, we've got to get into a car with no door handles, so thank God I went for a rear seat delete. Hey, this is really practical. Just grab that. Easy. Right, lesson learned from doing the other one. Put this in upside down, because then you can kind of feed it over the arm bit. Oh, yes. Easy when you know how. Shame I don't know how. She's in, so we've got one in. And as I said earlier about the ever-changing autumnal weather in Britain, you'll be unsurprised to hear that it has just started raining. So let's do this quickly. Oh no. Have I just dropped the bolt? I have, and it's gone in the door. Oh God, all bloody mighty. I'm going to have to go and get a little grabby thing that can go down the door to find that bolt, and God, hopefully we can get this put back together. This is why you don't rush things when it's raining. Jump cut. Right, after quite a lot of swearing and using a little pickup extendy claw tool thing to grab the bolt that I dropped from right down in the door crevice there, I finally got it all in. My repainted handles are done. How good is that? Big fan, and they work perfectly, as long as I shut the door properly. And because I am easily distracted but also impatient, I completely forgot to put the Fiat badge on in the excitement of finally getting the handles fitted and everything. So I've now done that as well, and oh, doesn't that just look perfect? I'm going to bed. See you in the morning. Next up, as I said, it's this foggy fog light, which is going to have to come out. So we've got 4 Phillips head screws, one in each corner of this vent here, and then a little Phillips head screw to remove the fog light itself. Or you could just do this. Well, it seems like I'm a bit out of practice, and my YouTube snapping powers are not what they once were. I've actually got all the screws out to release the front grille, and I was starting to undo this screw here that actually holds the fog light in, and it's held into the back of the grille with this square nut here, and you can see just how rusty that thread is, because of course this is permanently exposed at the bottom of the car to all the weather. As a result, that is seized solid and rusty on there, and the head is just rounding off. I've tried various sizes of screwdriver in there, it will not come out for love nor money. And you can see how bad this fog light is. Actually, there's actually water in it, which when I took the rubber cover off this plug here, which is where it plugs into the car loom, water came pouring out of it. Not helped by the fact that to get the actual plugs off of the fog light that connects it to the car, there are 2 bolts in the fog light itself. I've managed to get one out there. The other one is here and is utterly rounded off. You can see there that is not coming out whatsoever, so I think we're actually going to have to cut this off. This grille is actually looking pretty tatty. When you get close up, you see the paint starting to flake off, and it's got like rusty residue from the old screws on it. Cut a long story short, I don't think we can quickly and easily get this to a serviceable state for the Classic Motor Show. Look, it's actually coming apart in my hands here. So inspired by the video we did, shut up! So inspired by the video we did on my girlfriend's C30 a couple of weeks back, I'm going to do the same with a bit of custom grillage for the front of my mad car. Pro tip for fine detail cutting: cable tie your original grill onto the mesh, because then it stays lined up perfectly. You can just run your choppers all the way down there, make it neat. If this looks crap, ignore that bit of advice. So after lots of fiddly cutting and dodging the torrent of rain we've had over the last couple of days, the new grill is in. I am absolutely chuffed with that. Perfectly trimmed to size. I've put a few of the screws in just to kind of pull it into shape, and I'm really pleased with that. Even goes along nicely with the existing honeycomb grille. That is superb. And the best part is we only actually have to do the finite work once, because I'm going to take this out, flip it, and use it as a template to redo that one. So let's get a bit of YouTuber magic, which hopefully, fingers crossed, will work for the second time in this video. In 3, 2, 1. And there we have it. Another mesh grille on the other side, and that looks awesome. Yes, you might be able to tell because of the arse weather we've been having lately, this is yet another day in this video. Now if I come out wide, you can see both the grills on, and I am absolutely chuffed with that. It looks really mean. That looks so much tougher than the standard grills and in much better condition than the crappy ones I had in there. That is awesome. I'm delighted with that. I do have to give a massive thank you and shout out to my girlfriend who helped me with this one, because while she saw it was done in the previous shot, I then decided to try and trim it down a bit more to make it neater, and I completely bodged it up and ruined it. So my girlfriend actually, while I was washing the car and polishing it, which you can't really tell while it's covered in dew, she went and made another one unbeknownst to me. She was attaching it and fixing it up while I was washing the car. It's not absolutely perfect, but she did the best of what she had. My God, you've been amazing, darling, so thank you so much for that. Big shout out to her on that one. Next up, something that's not actually for show purposes, but will be lovely for driving to and from Birmingham, where it is. The radio. Now, I like to listen to a lot of music, and particularly the radio while I'm driving. I'm naming no stations here, but I have got my favourites. And this old head unit I've been using is fine, but I can only get FM radio with it. I don't know if you've used FM radio lately. The signals are starting to get a bit crap. The area in this car's never been particularly good. So I've decided to upgrade to a lovely DAB radio here. This is a similar Pioneer unit. It doesn't have CD, but it does have DAB, and that means it will require this rather funky aerial, and that actually sticks up in your window there to get the signal. I'm just going to tuck it down there, but that will require tucking the cable behind this pillar trim here so it can then go under the dash to the radio. So my plan is I'm going to pull this seal off here, which I believe is an interior seal. It's been hard to do this because of all the crap weather we've had lately. Pull this off, pull that trim back, stick the wire for the aerial behind it, then feed it down here, and hopefully I should then have DAB, but let's see. So after some struggling, I managed to get the door seal off and remove the pillar trim out of the way so I could then tuck the wire for the aerial behind it. And I kept putting it down here, but I couldn't find it. It wasn't coming out the bottom here. I've taken this kick panel off. I just heard lots of clunking and rattling. Then it occurred to me, take the speaker out of the way and you can see the wire and pull it all the way through, which is what I have done. And now it's in the footwell. This does actually need to tidy up. There's all the crap here. And just to be clear, I'm not eating Rocky Road bites on the job. And there we have it. Brand new Pioneer head unit in. DAB aerial is connected. I still need to tidy up the wiring under the dashboard. And I can't turn it up any louder for you to hear it because copyright and stuff, but if I press that, I do get all my mad DAB stations. I can listen to all my favourite tunes on the way out to Birmingham. It's about a 3.5 hour drive. I've got sweets, I've got tunes, I am ready to rumble. This car is now ready for the Classic Motor Show. I've given it a wash, I've polished it, which is the first time I've polished a car in a little while now, and it's about as done as it can be with the time we have left available. I do have other plans. I've got some new fog lights to go in. I did want to even change the colour of the wheels if I had time, but no, time and the weather has conspired against us, and Little Nugget is as good as it's going to get. I am so chuffed with how the thing looks in the sunshine, all polished up. I think this deserves its place on the Fiat Motor Club GB stand. So you'll join us next at the NEC. Good job I spent hours washing and polishing the car, isn't it? Thanks, Brenton. Well, it's been a bit fraught to find the entrance, but we are queuing up for the Classic Motor Show. The Little Nugget has made it, and in the process, ticked over 131,000 miles. Well done, little mate. I am now driving this Little Nugget indoors. This is a slightly surreal experience, but we are in. Make our way over to the Fiat Motor Club stand. Oh yes, I think we're in the right place. We've made it. We are on the Fiat Motor Club GB stand, and we're surrounded by some awesome cars. We've got a 126 there, I can see Multipla. We've got a 124 Punto GT Turbo, a couple of coupes, and the mad Little Nugget here. Now, it is filthy because I've driven 180 miles up to Birmingham. So first up, I've got some quick detailer there. I've got some glass cleaner. Could give this thing a quick buff over. It's nowhere going to look near as nice as this Punto, but it is going to look decently clean because then it's showtime. And there we have it. Quick bit of quick detail, a glass cleaner, wheel cleaner, a couple of spray bottles and some microfibers from an idiot who doesn't know what he's doing. And the Little Nugget is looking awesome. I'm so pleased with this. It does highlight next to this Punto here that it does need a bit of a machine polish when we get home, but it'll do. It looks awesome. The kind people at the Fiat Motor Club here are giving me roof a little buff up because that had gone really cloudy. And other than that, it is good to go. I am chuffed with this. Looks amazing. You wouldn't believe a daily driven Nugget that went to the Nürburgring can also look this good on a show stand. So today, as you're seeing, this is the Thursday. Tomorrow, the show begins.